Freedom of thought, robust exchange of ideas, critical thinking, education as the essential requirement for democratic participation. These are all ideas that, when asked, most Americans would claim to be at the heart of American exceptionalism. These are the commitments that many people believe make our nation so special. But beneath these assertions is another history, a history that begins with a whole host of laws that criminalize the acquisition of knowledge and the capacity to share that knowledge. Lawmakers, elites, and ordinary people at one point in our history feared that a suppressed population armed with knowledge and the capacity to share that knowledge would be dangerous, would be disruptive, upsetting to those who were invested in the status quo. Of course, the history I'm talking about is the ban on educating Black people, forbidding them to learn how to read and to write. Laws and practices insulated slavery by suppressing knowledge and the ability to express opposition to it. But the racialized suppression of knowledge doesn't end there. The repression of critical thought has been fundamental to sustaining the status quo in American society. As we're going to discuss today, the impulse to censor critical thinking about racial inequality is not cabined to some distant history. Today, in 2016, the school board in Henrico County has inserted itself into this teaching moment in order to ban materials that present critical perspectives on contemporary racial equality. Censorship is thus alive and well when it comes to topics having to do with race and social justice. There seems to be a race exception to the idea that school is a place to learn history, except apparently when it comes to Black history, at least not in Henrico County.
Throughout American history, if one just takes a look at American history, it has typically been the case that the champions of racial justice were also the champions of freedom of expression. The entire gamut of civil liberties, if you go back, racial justice has been the seedbed, and I really think that on campuses, that's a point that needs to be brought out more.
I get letters from teachers all the time saying my books have been banned temporarily. I said, don't worry about it, put them back on the shelves. And they come in and find them on the shelves again, and you say, gee, how'd they get back on there, you know? And you keep putting them back, and they keep taking them off, and you finally win, you know? But be very quiet about it. You're the librarian, you're the teacher. Stand firm, and you'll win, and they always do.